Bonjour les étudiants of class 10. Hope you're fine, hope you're enjoying your holidays. Okay, so be safe, that's important. And so about the French class, the last class we were doing the passé composé and some exercises of passé composé of lesson 2. Qu'est-ce que tu as pensé? And today we'll be continuing with the exercises of lesson 2. I will be doing a small revision and then we'll be heading to the pronoun relative, okay, the relative pronouns. We just got three: qui, que, and ou. Right? So qui, que, and ou. We'll be doing those exercises and also the exercises with adjectives, okay, with some adjectives will be sent. And here we go to the slides. And so here we are. Okay, so we'll go for a small revision of the exercises, the first exercises that we saw the last class, but we will be just giving a reading. Okay, so mettez les verbes au passé composé. Nous sommes montés en voiture. B. Ma mère est allée chez le dentiste. Le musicien Ravi Shankar est né en Inde. Le stagiaire a visité les châteaux de la Loire. E. La vendeuse est partie tôt. Deuxième exercice. Mettez les phrases à la forme négative. Les feuilles n'ont pas commencé à tomber. Les enfants n'ont pas préparé leur cartable. Je n'ai pas acheté de forêt noire à la pâtisserie. Ils n'ont pas joué de piano. Il n'a pas fait de crêpes pour ce soir. So, troisième exercice. Auxiliaire, avoir ou être. Mettez la forme convenable. Ils sont rentrés du voyage hier soir. Elle est tombée dans le jardin sur le pavé glissant. Elle a vu ce film plusieurs fois. Nous sommes nés dans un petit village près de la mer. Vos parents et vous avez passé une semaine à Paris. So, fourth exercise. Complétez avec les participes passés. Faites attention à l'accord. L'enfant a récité le poème plusieurs fois pour mémoriser. Les touristes françaises sont rentrés d'Agra. Elle est arrivée à quelle heure au bureau? L'école a permis aux étudiants de partir en excursion. Les ouvriers sont entrés dans le bureau du directeur sans permission. Okay, so here we go for the fifth exercise now. Écrivez les phrases suivantes au passé. Okay, so the first paragraph. Okay, the first paragraph, it's in present tense. Okay, so you got to change it to past tense. So the one which is below is the answer. Okay, so I have just mentioned the verbs or the words that will be changing. They are in green. Okay? So I will just read it once in present tense. Aujourd'hui, mes amis de France arrivent à Pondichéry en avion. Ils visitent l'église de Notre-Dame des Anges. Ils mangent dans un restaurant indien. Ils vont à l'Euroville et à la plage. Ils achètent des cadeaux dans des boutiques. So you can see the verbs are highlighted in red. Okay, so those verbs are conjugated in present tense. And what you have to do is you got to change the whole paragraph in past tense to past tense. Okay, so and the same way the first word, it starts with aujourd'hui, and aujourd'hui, which means present tense. So it's better we change that word to hier. Hier, which is yesterday. Hier, mes amis de France sont arrivés. Okay, so the arrivé verb will be conjugated in passé composé. Should be conjugated with the auxiliary être, not with avoir. Sont arrivés à Pondichéry en avion. So yesterday, my friends, okay, from France, reached Pondicherry or arrived to Pondicherry by a flight, okay, by aeroplane. Ils ont visité l'église de Notre-Dame des Anges. Okay, ils ont visité. They have visited the Our Lady of Notre Dame des Anges. It's actually the Dumas Church. Okay, Dumas Church, Capucin, we even call, which is in near the beach. okay, the rose-colored church which is near the beach. They have visited the Notre-Dame des Anges church. Ils ont mangé dans un restaurant indien. They have ate, okay, they ate or they have eaten in an Indian restaurant. Ils sont allés à Auroville et à la plage. So the verb aller is conjugated now. So they went to Auroville and to the beach. Ils ont acheté des cadeaux dans des boutiques. So they bought some gifts in some shops. Okay, so voilà. Careful with the verbs. Okay, so 2-3 verbs are conjugated with avoir and the others with être. And so now this is actually the second grammar part of this lesson. Le pronom relatif, okay, the relative pronoun in English, qui, que, et ou. Okay, qui, que, et ou. So qui and que means the same. Okay, when you translate, it will be like giving the meaning of who, that, or which, depends on the sentence. Who, that, or which. And then so ou means where. Okay, ou accent, it's where. So le pronom relatif qui représente le sujet. So first of all, why do we use a pronoun relative, or why do we use a relative pronoun? It's actually to link two sentences, okay, to make two sentences, make it together and make it as one. Okay, so for example, je connais une française. Okay, so la française a appris le tamoul. Okay, so that way we'll be having two sentences. Okay, so I know a French person. Okay, the French person learned Tamil. Okay, so we got two different sentences. We can see the object of the first half of the sentence is the subject of the second half. So you can use a pronoun relative, okay, a relative pronoun, to make it together, to link it as one sentence. So I know a French person who learned Tamil. Okay, so that's what it is. So here, je connais une française qui a appris le tamoul. So you can see the relative pronoun qui, okay, in between, and the qui is actually representing the subject, okay, the subject which is actually une française, the French person. Okay, so we call it as antécédent, the word which you are replacing with qui or que or ou. Okay, we call it as antécédent. Oui, antécédent. They are marked une française. Antécédent, it's une française. So the second one, le pronom relatif que représente l'objet. So as you know, if it's in a sentence, that will be like subject, verb, object. And so if it's representing the object, then we'll be using que. Okay, so the same way it will be like two sentences, two different sentences. If you want to represent the subject, then you'll be using qui. If you're representing the object, then you'll be using que. So the second one's example, c'est une fille chouette que tout le monde adore. Okay, so antécédent, which one is the antécédent? Which one should be replaced? La fille chouette. Okay, so if it's in like two different sentences, how the sentence will be like, c'est une fille chouette. Okay, it's a great girl. Okay, so tout le monde adore cette fille chouette. Okay, or tout le monde adore cette fille. Okay, everyone adores this girl. So now we'll be like replacing the girl, which is repeated twice. Okay, even in the first sentence as well as in the second sentence. But you can see tout le monde adore cette fille. Okay, cette fille will be the object of the second sentence. So what we'll be doing, which pronom relative we'll be using, it's actually que. Okay, c'est une fille chouette que tout le monde adore. Okay, so que doesn't mean that or what. Okay, here as a pronoun relative, even que can be used to replace a person. Okay, not just qui. Right? Que means who, that, or which. Oui, c'est une fille chouette que tout le monde adore. It's a great girl, so that everyone adores. Right? So the last one, it's actually the pronoun relative ou, ou, accent, which means where. Okay, so this thing, this pronoun represents just a place. Okay, for example, la poste où elle va est très loin. Okay, donc elle va à la poste est très loin. Okay, instead of saying like two different sentences, you can say La poste où elle va, so the post office where she is going, is very far. Right? So we'll see the exercises, you can understand better. So heading to the 7th exercise now. Complétez les phrases avec les pronoms relatifs qui, que ou où. Right? So complete the sentences using the relative pronouns qui, que or où. So the first sentence, le géographe a exploré un pays exotique, dash, il va souvent. So now le géographe a exploré un pays exotique. Okay, so the geographer, okay, so the explorer has discovered or found a new, an exotic country. Okay, an exotic country. Dash, il va souvent. Okay, so he goes there often. Okay, he goes often. So what relative pronoun we'll be using here? It's actually where. Okay, où will be used because le géographe, okay, the geographist, has explored an exotic country where he goes often. It's actually a place that we are, the antecedent is actually a place here. Pays exotique, it's actually the antécédent. So we'll be, and it's a place, so we'll be using où, O-U accent. Okay, le géographe a exploré un pays exotique où il va souvent. Okay. Le deuxième, second one, j'adore la littérature, okay, dash, est une matière intéressante. Okay, so I adore literature, dash, is a interesting subject, matière, which means a subject. So now, which one we'll be using? So j'adore la littérature. So now, la littérature est une matière intéressante. Okay, so in the dash you got to use la littérature. The antécédent, it's actually la littérature. So la littérature, it's a subject or an object or a place. Okay, so you can see where it is placed normally. It is placed before a verb. Okay, est is the verb. Okay, it's a verb être. Before the verb we'll be using la littérature est une matière intéressante, which means we are going to represent the subject of the second sentence. Right? So we'll be using qui est une matière intéressante. Okay, I adore the literature, which is an interesting subject. Which, okay, so it's qui, Q-U-I. The third one, le gâteau aux amandes est un dessert. Okay, dash, tout le monde aime. So now here in this sentence, le gâteau aux amandes est un dessert. Tout le monde aime le gâteau aux amandes. So that's how the sentence should be. The second half of the sentence will be like tout le monde aime le gâteau aux amandes. Okay? So how it will be? So almond cake. Okay, the almond cake is a dessert. Everyone likes almond cakes. Okay, almond cake. So now it's actually the object which you are going to represent. Okay, so tout le monde aime le gâteau aux amandes. So it's actually the object we are going to represent. So which pronoun relative will be using? It's que, Q-U-E. And also you can see after the dash, you got a subject. Okay, you got a subject, whereas after qui, there will be a verb. Okay, so it's a small key to keep in mind. So after the dash, if you got a subject, we use que, okay, or even où if it's a place. If there is a verb next to the dash, we'll be using qui, Q-U-I. Okay. So the third one, le gâteau aux amandes est un dessert que, Q-U-E, tout le monde aime. So the last before one, j'aime les contes de Charles Perrault. J'aime les contes de Charles Perrault. Okay, I like the tales, okay, the stories, okay, of Charles Perrault. Dash, je lis même maintenant. Je lis même maintenant, which means I even read it now. Okay, so now je lis même maintenant les contes de Charles Perrault. And also after the dash, what we got? We got a subject. Okay? And what we can use? So we are going to represent an object. So we'll be using que, Q-U-E. Que je lis même maintenant. Okay, so the last one, J'apprends le français. J'apprends le français dash m'aidera à trouver un bon travail. Okay, j'apprends le français dot le français m'aidera à trouver un bon travail. So French will help me to find a good job. Right? So which one we are going to represent? We are going to represent the subject of the sentence. So we'll be using qui, QUI, and after the dash you can see the verb aider is there. Okay, so forget M apostrophe, that's actually a COD. Okay, so complément objet direct, so direct pronoun it is. But you got to check the verb aider. There is a verb actually after the dash, so we'll be using qui. Right? So now we'll check the answers here. So septième exercice, complétez les phrases avec les pronoms relatifs qui, que ou où. Le géographe a exploré un pays exotique où il va souvent. J'adore la littérature qui est une matière intéressante. Le gâteau aux amandes est un dessert que tout le monde aime. J'aime les contes de Charles Perrault que je lis même maintenant. J'apprends le français qui m'aidera à trouver un bon emploi, un bon travail, pardon. Oui. So we'll move to the 8th exercise now. So again, we got the same. Relier les deux prépositions en utilisant un pronom relatif convenable. Okay. So I just highlighted the ones you got to remove. Okay, and you got to use a relative pronoun. So the first one, je lis une pièce de théâtre. Je lis une pièce de théâtre. So pièce de théâtre, which means a drama script. Okay, a drama script, a stage show, a play script. Elle est passionnante. Elle est passionnante. So you can see elle est passionnante. So elle is what? It's la pièce de théâtre. Je lis une pièce de théâtre. La pièce de théâtre est passionnante. Okay, we are representing the subject now. Okay, so what we'll be using, it's qui. Okay, you just remove that semicolon and that al and you'll be placing qui, QUI. Je lis une pièce de théâtre qui est passionnante. Okay, so I read a drama script which is passionate. Okay. So second one, en France, nous avons rencontré une fille. Mes voisins la connaissent. Okay, so here in France, we met a girl. So my neighbors know her. Okay, so the la which is in red, it means her. Okay, my neighbors know her. If you just replace it with a normal object, it will be like in France, we met a girl. My neighbors know that girl. Okay, or my neighbors know the girl. Okay, so actually you can see it's the object which we are going to represent. Okay, the object. So la fille, it's the object. So what we'll be using? Que, QUI. En France, nous avons rencontré une fille que mes voisins connaissent. You got to remove that la. Okay, so if you remove that la, then it's correct. Okay, so because we are already using a pronoun, a relative pronoun, so no need to use this direct pronoun there. Okay, so the third one, nous visitons souvent notre village natal. J'y suis né. Okay, so we often visit our native village. I was born there. Okay, I was born there. There it's actually the Y pronoun. Okay, the there, I was born there. There it's actually used as Y. And if we change it to a normal object, nous visitons souvent notre village natal. We often visit our native village. I was born in that village. Okay, I was born in that village. Normally, instead of that village, we have used Y. Okay, so there. So now you got to see native village, it's actually a place. Okay, it's actually a place. So what pronoun will be using? U, O-U, right? Where. So we often visit our native village where I was born. Okay, so you just remove that Y, right? And then you'll be placing OU before the J apostrophe. Okay, so the J apostrophe changes to JE. Okay, because the next word is je suis. Okay, so nous visitons souvent notre village natal où je suis né. So the last before one, je vais chez le fleuriste. So I'm going to the florist. Le fleuriste vend des fleurs magnifiques. So I'm going to the florist. The florist sells some magnificent flowers. Right? So which one we are replacing? Le fleuriste, which is a subject. We are going to represent a subject. So which pronoun relative will be using? It's qui. Q-U-I. So je vais chez le fleuriste qui vend des fleurs magnifiques. Okay, so I'm going to the florist who sells some magnificent flowers. So the last one, j'aime le poème Correspondance. Baudelaire a écrit ce poème. Okay, so Baudelaire is a great writer. Okay, so a poet. J'aime le poème Correspondance. The name of the poem is Correspondance. I like the poem Correspondance. Baudelaire a écrit ce poème. So Baudelaire wrote this poem. So now we are representing what? The object of the second sentence, right? Baudelaire a écrit ce poème. So poem comes after the verb, which means it's an object. So what we'll be using? Que. Okay, j'aime le poème Correspondance que Baudelaire a écrit. Okay, so you got to remove that ce poem. The ones which are in red, you got to remove in the answer. Only then it's right. Okay, so now we'll see the answers. Here. Relier les deux propositions en utilisant un pronom relatif convenable. Je lis une pièce de théâtre qui est passionnante. En France, nous avons rencontré une fille que mes voisins connaissent. Nous visitons souvent notre village natal où je suis né. Je vais chez le fleuriste qui vend des fleurs magnifiques. J'aime le poème Correspondance que Baudelaire a écrit. Oui, hope it's fine. Yeah, I forgot to mention, so the sixth exercise will omit. Okay, the sixth exercise will omit. Okay, it's actually finding the infinitive form of something. Okay, so here we got some adjective qualificative. Okay, so we'll just go for it a bit quick. Ancien, ancienne. Okay, so ancient or old. We got masculine, feminine form. Okay, indien, indienne. Okay, the first one we are talking about. So if an adjective ends with IEN, okay, so the feminine form will be like IENNE. Okay, same way ancien, ancienne, indien, indienne. Okay, so the second one, bon, bonne, mignon, mignonne. Okay, so same way if an adjective ends with ON, okay, it will be like ONNE, okay, in the feminine form. Okay, so both sides. Beau means good, mignon, which means cute. Right? Gentil, gentil. So same way if it ends with IEL, it will be like IELLE. Right? So gentil, which means gentle, kind. Léger, légère. Okay, if it ends with ER, okay, so ER, so then it will be like E accent RE. Okay, so E accent RE, E accent grave, then RE. Dernier, dernière. Okay, so léger, which means lightweight. Okay, dernier, dernière, which means last. Constant, constante. Okay, constant, constant. So there are these kind of, mostly the adjectives will be just adding an E for the feminine form. Constant, constante. Bruyant, bruyante. So bruyant, which means noisy. Okay, noisy. Menteur, menteuse. Okay, so when an adjective ends with EUR, we'll be adding EUSC. Okay, in the place of EUR, we'll be adding EUSC. We cut R or add SC. Okay, so menteur, menteuse. Travailleur, travailleuse. Okay, so menteur, menteuse, which means a liar. Okay, a liar. Travailleur, travailleuse, which means a worker. Okay, a hard worker, we say travailleur, travailleuse. So ambigu, ambigu. So aigu, aigu. So ambigu, ambitious. Okay, so when it ends with U, we'll be adding an with a trema accent, okay, with an accent trema or umlaut. You keep 2 dots, we won't be having much with it, okay, so you can leave. Aigu, so aigu will be like acute, a sharp, high pitched, which means aigu, okay, so aigu. Personnel, when it ends with el, so it will be like E-double-L-E, okay, in feminine form it changes to E-double-L-E. Same way, so naturel, so EL and ELLE. So the last form, it's actually generous. When it ends with EUX, we add EUSE in that place. Instead of X, you will be adding SE. Ennuyeux, same way. Nombreux. Okay, so generous. Ennuyeux, which means boring. Nombreux, which means numerous. So now we'll head to the exercise, the 9th exercise. Compléter avec la forme féminine de l'adjectif. So in bracket they have given the masculine form, which is the default form of an adjective, and we got to write the feminine form of it. Okay, so just now we saw for all these. Cette fille est. So when it ends with EUR, travailleur, we'll be adding EUSE in the place of EUR. Cette fille est travailleuse. TRAVAILLEUSE. Okay, so the second one. Ce quartier est bruyant à cause de la circulation. Okay, so this area is noisy because of the traffic. Okay, circulation, which means traffic. So ce quartier, which is masculine. Okay, it's just masculine. So no need to change. Okay, no need to change the adjective of which is given in the bracket. Okay, so maybe that's a small error in this exercise, because in the heading they have given compléter avec la forme féminine. Okay, complete the form, the feminine form of the adjective. But for the second sentence, we can't do the feminine form. As the subject, it's masculine. We just write as it is. Bruyant will remain bruyant. So the third one, la valise est léger. Léger changes to légère. Okay, we add one more E, and then for the second E, we'll be adding accent grave. La valise est légère, the suitcase or the luggage, it's lightweight. So the last before one, c'est une ville. C'est une ville, it's a city. Ancien, okay, ancien, it ends with IEN, and ville, it's feminine, so we'll be adding one more N and E. C'est une ville ancienne. Okay, it's an old city. And the last one, elles sont nombreux. Okay, elles sont nombreux, it's given, and elles, it's actually feminine plural form, so we'll be writing NOMBREUSES, nombreuses. Elles sont nombreuses. So now we'll see the answers. They are numerous, which means the last one here. Cette fille est travailleuse. Ce quartier est bruyant à cause de la circulation. As I told you, we don't change the spelling for bruyant. We write as it is. La valise est légère. C'est une ville ancienne. Elles sont nombreuses. Okay, so careful with the spelling. So now we'll head to the 10th exercise, the last exercise of this lesson. It's actually the same exercise. Okay, we got to write the correct form of the adjectives. So the first one, la pièce de théâtre est très, okay, so the drama, the stage show, okay, is very ennuyeux, which means boring. And you got to check the subject, la pièce de théâtre, which is feminine, singular, so we'll be writing ennuyeuse, ENNUYEUSE. Okay, you cut X and add SE. Second one, l'actrice a une voix, so the actress got a voice, got a sharp high pitched voice. Okay, so aigu means sharp or high pitched. Aigu will be adding one more E with a trema accent, double dot. Okay, so l'actrice a une voix aiguë. So third one, la chanteuse est d'une qualité exceptionnelle. Okay, so the singular. Okay, the singular is of an exceptional quality. Exceptionnel, you can see it ends with el. Okay, so what we'll be doing, we'll be adding one more l and e. Okay, LLE. La chanteuse est d'une qualité exceptionnelle. So one more L and E you'll be adding. So the last before one, l'histoire du film est nulle. So l'histoire, which is a feminine word. So here with this you can't guess because there is no le or la. We got L apostrophe. L'histoire, it ends with E, right? So it's mostly feminine. So l'histoire, which means the story of the movie, is null. It's nothing, useless. Okay, so it's dumb. So nul, it ends with L, right? We'll be adding one more L and E. L'histoire du film est nulle. The last one, les décors du film sont bien. Okay, so les décors du film sont bien naturels. Okay, so les décors, so décoration, which is a feminine word. So we'll be adding S, LLES. Okay, so here. Yeah, which is actually the last one, which is plural, right? We'll be adding S. Faites l'accord des adjectifs. La pièce de théâtre est très ennuyeuse. L'actrice a une voix aiguë. La chanteuse est d'une qualité exceptionnelle. L'histoire du film est nulle. Les décors du film sont bien naturels. Right? So that's it for today, and so please write the classwork neatly, properly. Okay, so leave space and try to write the answers in black. Okay, so which is really important so that you'll know. Okay, so merci beaucoup les gars, so thank you so much, be safe, we'll continue the next session. Bye bye.